The English Championship division kicks off this Friday evening with a live game from Carrow Road, Norwich City, straight up from the League One last year, and they're hosting Watford. So it kicks off on Friday, so if you want pre-season bets on the outrights, get them in as fast as possible. And we'll also be having live betting in running on the Norwich match. But Richie, we're just going to concentrate now on who's going to win this division, because I don't know about you, but year in, year out, I think this is an almost impossible nut to crack. But I will start with, say, Middlesbrough, who are favourites. They're now 6.5. 2 weeks ago they were 9, so there's been an absolute deluge of money for Middlesbrough. What's your feeling on Middlesbrough?
Yeah, I mean, Strachan's been there. You know, he joined halfway through last season, so he's settled in strongly.
Yeah.
And he's brought players. There's a lot coming from north of the border, hasn't there?
He signed nearly anyone who's Scottish, hasn't he?
Yes. Yeah, a few of his own. But they've got a strong squad, plenty of depth, so there'll be plenty of fighting for positions, and it will keep them going. As I say, it's a very tough division, and you want it to go all the way.
I think
any team can beat any team in this division.
Yeah, they can. But then you've got second favourites, Nottingham Forest. Well, to me, they're a bit of a quandary. I mean, they haven't made any big signings over the summer. And there are all these rumblings of discontent behind the scenes with there's a sort of no transfer policy. Yeah. What do you think? No, Nottingham Forest, second favourites in the betting at 9.
Yeah, they've been disappointed. I mean, they finished third last season, didn't even get to the playoff final, did they?
No.
But Billy Davis, he's a shrewd hand. Yeah. And if he can calm that discontent and he gets gets his own way on a couple of players, that'll keep him happy. And they're going to be thereabouts again. I mean, but they're a short enough price, 9.0.
They certainly look short enough. And then the third favourites, joint third favourites in the betting, we've got Burnley and QPR both at 11. I would think of the sides that got relegated last year, Burnley would be most people's favourites to come straight back up. But are you convinced that they can do that?
Well, I mean, it's a big ask. I mean, obviously the disappointment of getting relegated, and Brian Laws, he's got to replicate what Owen Coyle did. I mean, to replicate that is, Owen Coyle, he had the team all behind him, and Laws has got to answer a couple of questions.
Yeah,
and, whether he can deliver.
I personally think he's got too many questions to answer.
11.0 for that kind of team.
Not tremendous value, is it? I would think Reading at 12 might be a little bit more interesting, actually, Richie. They only finished 7 points out of the playoffs last season. They made a managerial change mid-season, bringing in Brian McDermott for Brendan Rodgers, which did seem to make a massive difference. And I personally have always fancied looking at these sides that finished like a train. I mean, they just missed out. There's momentum there, and as long as they managed to carry that momentum through into this season, they were the top. If you take the second half of the season, they were the top team. Exactly.
So the momentum's there. They finished 9th in the end. I mean,
and I can see an improvement there. Anyone else that's caught your eye in this division?
Well, I mean, you can discount the Portsmouth and Hulls. Too many money problems there. Cardiff, they were in the playoffs last season, but they've got the transfer embargo, so they're not going to be strengthening. Maybe Ipswich with Roy Keane. I mean, they're only 15th last season. But Roy Keane, what is his third season, I think now. So he'll be wanting to push on, and he'll be barking the orders, and
I think the big question for me is Roy Keane. He was an inspirational, fantastic footballer. But they don't always make the best managers, and for me the jury is still out with Roy Keane. And you just wonder if there's a sort of climate of fear in that dressing room.
But this is his season, this is make or break for him. Otherwise,
it is, and for me the jury's very much out on.
You like their neighbours, though, don't you?
I've always been a bit of a fan of Norwich City, not just because of Deeley Smith, wonderful lady that she is. But they won League One very easily last year, and they're tight in defence. They're very impressive in attack. They've got Grant Holt and Chris Martin, and they've actually strengthened up with a signing from Gillingham, Simeon Jackson. He comes with a lot of pedigree. I can see Norwich being lively outsiders for this division at 18. I wouldn't put anyone off backing Norwich City.
Yeah, with the momentum of going up, obviously it's a bigger positive than the likes of Burnley who are going down.
Exactly.
So I can see where you're coming from.
So Richie, head on the line, a bit of a value bet for the punters out there for the Championship outright.
Well, I'm all on for Borough, so I've taken the big prices about them, so I'm more than happy with them. Maybe an outsider, what should we say, Reading 12.0, maybe push them.
Okay, well, so it's Middlesbrough and Reading for Richie, and I'm going to row in with Norwich City. We'll see who's right in about 9 months' time. In the meantime, it all kicks off on Friday night. Live betting, don't forget, on the big game, Norwich against Watford. It's live at Expekt. full range of markets, so you'll miss none of the action at Expekt.
Cheers.
You can't